Welcome to the episode number 7 of Feature Showcase Live. So, as you know, every Tuesday we discuss a feature of DaDaBIK. DaDaBIK is a no-code, low-code platform. I am the founder. My name is Eugenio Tacchini, and again, every Tuesday we focus on a specific feature of DaDaBIK and we discuss it. During the last episodes, we started discussing permissions. So this is the third episode about permission, and there will be a fourth episode about permission, and I promise that will be the last one. But there are many things to say. So I will start in a moment. As usual, if you haven't, I want to tell you that if you haven't tried DaDaBIK yet, you can visit dadabik.com/download and get and start your 3rd-day free trial. DaDaBIK is, again, a low-code, no-code platform you can use to build applications, typically internal tools, database applications with little or no coding. All right, so I would say we can start now. And today, the episode is dedicated to, let's open our notes here. This is, all the content we discussed so far. And today we focus on custom button permissions. What is a custom button? First of all, a custom button is literally a button in your application, then when clicked, executes some custom PHP or JavaScript code you wrote. So this is part of the more advanced DaDaBIK features. This is not the no code part. It's more the low code part. But you can add buttons with your own code, PHP and JavaScript code. And we have to understand how permissions work for this kind of elements, because maybe you want to provide the button and the related functionalities just to some users, or just under certain conditions. And this is what we are going to learn today. So once again, we use the inventory system. That is a simple inventory system I created using DaDaBIK, and we will work on it. In this case, we will add a button, a custom button, and we will see how permissions work when we need to manage buttons. So I would say we can add, for example, a button here, more specifically in the edit form of products. That's, you can add buttons, custom buttons, in many places of your application. This is not a video, a specific vertical video on custom buttons, because there's a lot of things to say. I will just introduce, the bare minimum you have to know about custom buttons, but the focus is the permissions about custom buttons, all right? So to add a custom button in your application, you have to add some configuration parameters to a specific file, that is the custom buttons file. But we can, just copy and paste an example from the DaDaBIK manual. So it will be easy to start from there and then change what we need to change. So this is the chapter related to custom buttons, and this is an example of custom buttons. So I can just copy this code. This is the piece of code needed to add a custom button with several parameters that configure the properties of this button. All right, so I copy here and I paste this into the file custombuttons.php. All right, so first thing to change, this was a custom buttons, as you can see from the key here. This was a custom button that was related to the customers table. Okay, but if you remember, we said that we want to show the button in a page related to the products table. So instead of customers, we just write products. Okay, and I'll paste it here and there. Then for each custom button, we have some properties: type, callback function, permission, show in, and so on and so forth. So let's start from the beginning. Type. You have three types of custom button. JavaScript button buttons that execute JavaScript code, or PHP buttons, and you have two kind of PHP buttons for PHP code. Let's make it very simple and let's do just a JavaScript button that open an alert window saying something, displaying a message on the screen, just to create a random function that is enough for our example. So we keep JavaScript. Then we have to define the name of the function that will contain the code related to the button. So this was the example from the manual, but in our case it will be something like, I don't know, DaDaBIK say hello live. Okay, all right. Then permissions, and this is what we need to discuss, but let me discuss this later. Show in. So we are saying that we want to show the buttons in pages related to the products table, but where? Because we can show it in the insert form, for example, in the edit form. We can show we can show it here at the top of the form. We can show it close to a specific field. We have many options. Okay, so we can just look at the option here in the manual. And for example, for show in, and you can have multiple places actually. You have edit form, details page, and many other options. In our case, we want to show the button in the edit form. So we copy edit form from here and show in edit form. Then position can be top or row. But yes, this is actually related to the results grid, but we are not onto the result grid. In case of the form, you have top, which means at the top of the form, or a field name if you want the button close to a field. In our case, top is fine. So position, form, top. And label. So the actual label of the button, in our case it will be I don't know, say hello, and the label type is fixed. This means that say hello will always be used as label. You also have the option to use a string from your language files. So according to the language you choose here, the label of the button will change, but we'll keep a fixed label. Here you can add some styles, CSS styles, but we don't need that. And this is an optional parameter that can be useful if you want to assign an ID to the button, but we don't for this example, so we are good. Now we have to write the function. DaDaBIK say hello live. Copy here. It's a JavaScript function because the type is JavaScript, so we move to the custom functions.js file and we just write a function. DaDaBIK say hello live, and it's gonna be something like alert hello, and that's it. Okay. Let me try if the button already works, and then we'll discuss permission. All right. Okay. Button is not working. Let me check why. Okay, I got it. So, and this this allows me to show the first thing I wanted to tell you. When you choose the permission, you have two options. The first option is you can use the classic CRUD permission. So here, insert means that to use the button, the user needs to have the insert or create, if you prefer, permissions on the products table. In this case, why the button does not appear here? Because as you can see here, we don't have the insert permission. You don't see a create new button here. Probably while I was doing some tests, I removed the insert permission. So that's why it does not appear. However, if I add back the insert permission, so permissions, products, admin, create no, as you can see, create yes, save permissions. Let's go back. Okay, and the button is here. If I click here, I should get the pop-up, but it doesn't work. Say hello live is not defined. Okay, I see why. Okay, well, this little problem allows me to tell you something more about that. When you modify this file, customfunctions.js, maybe the browser has this file already cached, and so maybe the browser does not load the very last version of the file. So that's why the browser thinks that this function is not defined, even if it is. Okay, so you can clean the cache if you want. You can add to your config custom file a parameter. I don't remember exactly the name of the parameter, but you can look into it. Is something like force JS and CSS reload. In this way, every time the CSS files and JS files, your custom CSS and JS files are reloaded. Another way to do that is to force the reload like this. Custom functions. As you can see, this is the old version. I reload, and now I have the new version. Okay. So let's try again. Okay, and now it works. All right. So it was the permissions based on the CRUD operations. So here you have the possible options of permission needed, known, permissions are not checked, so the button is always there. Read permission, delete permission, edit permission, insert permission, details permissions. Okay, these are in case you want to rely on the permissions the user has on the related table. Otherwise, you can use custom function, and in this case, you can express your own logic in PHP to determine if the button must be displayed or not. Custom function. So we will try that. Permission needed, custom function, and in this case, we also need an additional parameter, permission custom function. Permission. So only if permission needed is custom function, you need an additional parameter, permission custom function. That is the name of the function where we express the the condition. So we can call it DaDaBIK permission say hello button. Okay, we have to write the logic here, and the function must return true or false. True if the button must be displayed, or false if not. All right. Okay, so let's try to let's create a rule. For example, a rule based on the current user. So as you probably know, there is a global variable in DaDaBIK that tells you who is the user currently logged in, and it's called current user. So we can do something like if current user is equal to root, then return true, else return false. So only if the user is root, then the button is to be displayed and should be allowed. Otherwise not. So let's test it. We are user root, and the button is there. Okay, and it's still working. If we change the rule and we want to allow only user Bob, for example, the button is not displayed anymore. This is, here you can write standard PHP. This means that basically you can define your own rule. You can, create even a crazy rule because since it's just pure PHP, you can, literally do whatever you can do in PHP. Let's try to make it more complex. I don't know. Let's say that the user must be root, but it doesn't make any sense as a rule. Probably, maybe in some scenarios could make sense. And the day of the week must be Monday. So we want to show our button only on Monday to the user root. So date L in PHP return the day of the week. So let's say that if the day of the week is equal to Monday and the user is root, then the button must be displayed. Otherwise, don't display it. Well, we are live, so you know that today is Tuesday. So if everything is working as expected, we shouldn't see the button, and the button is not there. Very good. So just as a test, let's write Tuesday here. Okay, and the button is here. So again, feel free, to create the rule you want. You can read data from your database. You can call APIs. You can, do some math based on whatever you want and return true or false. All right. So I would say this is everything I wanted to tell you about permissions with custom buttons. We still have one point of our documents here, row level permission. So next Tuesday, we will talk about owner permission and custom row filter permissions. Okay. Yeah. And that's it for today. And we will see you next Tuesday. All right. So see you. Bye bye.